Fight fans, fight fans, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and of course I have some new news for you concerning there's only one Tyson Fury. Tyson, the Gypsy King Fury, states that the reason for the low ticket sales is because we're fighting in America. If he would have been in Manchester or any place in the UK or in England, rather, it would have sold at least 75,000 seats, right? And, there is some truth to that, I feel, me counterpunching it. I feel that if it was in the UK, it would do better just because of who that fighter is, and this is the next big fight that Tyson Fury's been in, besides the one he was in Germany, okay, with Vladimir. Of course, we can compare that fight, but it doesn't, it doesn't compare because that's in a totally different area. But in the UK, I think the fans would come out and support Tyson Fury, the fans that he does have. I don't feel that he has more fans than Anthony Joshua. I think that he is trying to, this is basically damage control. You know what I mean? Let's just face it, guys, because it's obvious that the ticket sales are low in the Staples Center. And, it's not doing what it projected to be, for both fighters. But let me shine a little light on you. He would do 75,000. He would do 90,000 if he fought AJ. You know what I'm saying? Or probably more. It would top that because of who his dancing partner is. It's who you fight. It's not necessarily you. It's not the fact that no one knows Tyson Fury, but no one really knows him here. And no one really knows Deontay Wilder, the people that should know him. You know what I'm saying? And in the UK, they would know who he is, but I don't know about 75,000. But it's hard to make that assessment because, how are we going to ever know that? There's no way of knowing that right now. But he did go on to say that, he's glad it's in America because, he's turned into, it gets him on the road again, and he's turned into a road warrior, and of course he went to Germany to fight Klitschko. And, I just think that he's just really caught up in the sales now. I think it's really damage control, but, as opposed to AJ sells tickets, man. You know what I mean? AJ gets the money. He gets the money that he gets, the fight purses that he gets is because he sells tickets. You know what I'm saying? And, people love Dillian White. Why? Because Dillian White sells tickets. But why? These are exciting fighters. This, like the Bavectin Joshua fight was a good fight. I can't say that about, Parker Joshua, but, Povetkin was a good fight, man. You know what I'm saying? And, White, Chisora, but, despite my personal differences about it, it will do well. It has done better, twice as many seats as the Fury Wilder fight. So, I just think someone has to patch it up. I think that's his, response to knowing the obvious, that this fight is not doing so well. It's a good move. I would do that. You know what I'm saying? But it might do more sales in the UK. Because there's more people in the UK know Tyson Fury than people over here that know Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Let's just face it. I did a poll in New England. Okay, I was up there last month, and I went around asking. I'm going to post that when I have time because I want to edit it right, But I asked numerous of people, and it was actually that, I was in Vermont, and Vermont is a college town, okay? And it was a lot of people that were from Alabama, Mississippi, and parts of the South that went there. You could tell by hearing them talk, they weren't New Englanders, right? So I asked them, the ones particularly from Alabama, I was like, hey, because it was some girls sitting at a bar, I was having a drink and everything. And I asked them, I'm like, hey, do you know who Deontay Wilder is? And one said, oh, you mean he light-skinned? Never mind. You know what I mean? Wait, he played basketball? Don't worry about it. Right? Went to another person. They didn't know who he was. Went to another person. I interviewed like 4 chicks at that same bar. And one knew who he was. You know, she said, "Oh yeah, he's the son of a preacher man." I was like, "There you go. Yeah, that's right." You know, and she was like, "Yeah," and he has a brother too. And I'm like, "Wow. Like, no, I don't know him. I heard about him, no." You know, so 1 out of 4 people that I interviewed from Alabama knew who he was. You know, so that gives you a little, little ratio there on the people by a poll that don't know who he is. Again, now if you ask 4 guys, it might have been a different ratio. So, we got to be fair about it. It might not have been, they might have known who he is, but, but a lot of people claim to know boxing and don't. So, just so happened those were all girls, and not any guys. I have to do a poll on guys in Alabama, like, hey, do you know Deontay Wilder? Next time I'm in Alabama, I will ask that, if I'm going back to Atlanta for some work or something like that. So, but Tyson Fury, there is some truth to what he's saying about that, I feel. But at the end of the day, I think it was like some damage control because the sales are not doing what they should do. And it is sad, though, because, people should support this fight because this is a good fight. You know what I mean? It is a good fight. These are 2 undefeated champions, 1 lineal champion, 1 WBC champion. And people should come out to support it. But the main thing is the pay-per-view. So let's hope on that end the pay-per-view sales do well. Hey, if it is a 2-way rematch clause, right? Maybe the next fight will be in the UK. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's probably what they're looking at, depending on the outcome of this particular fight. So anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Tyson Fury's comments. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.